And with a push of a button, we are live. Hello, Internet. Welcome to Land Beyond the Mist. We are back once again to go out exploring and see what horrible dangers await our new crew in these untamed wilds. So, let us start out as we always do by going around the table and introducing ourselves and our character that we've brought to the table today. I'm just going to go in the order of the Discord call that I see. So, Horo, why don't you reintroduce yourself and the character that you brought to the table today?
Yeah, sure. So my name's David. This time I'll be playing a barbarian named Drob, because Whistles unfortunately met his end with a Schmied man. And yeah, I look forward to exploring the steppe today.
Excellent. Well, welcome back. Glad to have you. John, welcome back. It's like we never even parted.
Greg, you just have to accept we're the same guy. I was planning to just interrupt you and introduce your stream, but now I'm confused but concerned what a Schmeat man is. What's a Schmeat man?
Well, you'll just have to explore the myths and find out.
Oh yeah.
Hi guys, I'm John. I am playing Creature as always, and forever. I live inside many people's minds, and I'm coming for you.
All right. I would like to imagine that somebody is meeting Creature for the first time, and that's it. That's all the introduction they get.
I'm in your mind.
Alrighty. Well, with that wonderful introduction done, welcome back to the Miss Shadow. Always good to have you. In case people are not familiar with Murdoch, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi everybody, I'm Shadow. I'm playing Murdoch today. He's a rogue / fighter. Got himself a brand new fancy bow as he was part of the team that took down Serpentor, but he lost yet another party member, and he is done losing people out in the mist, and now he's out for some vengeance, and this bow is going to help get him some. So we will see what happens.
Excellent. Always fun to see the magic swag put to good use. Last but certainly not least, welcome back, Temer. It has been a long time since we've had you on the show, it feels like. Why don't you introduce yourself and remind us of your wonderful character?
I'm playing Nefito, which is basically scumbag Temer here. He just enjoys, eating all of your food in the fridge and accidentally saying, "Oh, is that yours?" Not mean-spirited, but just, unthinking.
I appreciate the commitment to the bit. It's very good. Welcome back to the Miss. Always a pleasure to play with you. So, these four wonderful characters have come together, as we always do, around the great wooden table inside the Cloak and Stagger to choose their destination. The four of you have chosen to explore northward beyond the Howling Fields and to the steppes that have been reported back by previous adventurers. Tell me, are there any preparations that the four of you would like to make while you're in town before heading out?
Does anybody need anything?
Yes. To the people who have the mules and donkeys, do you guys have any space on them?
No.
Yes.
How much weight can you carry?
I have 98 pounds free on my mule.
I have 0.4.
I have 0.4.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
How much do you need me to carry? I'll mark it down for you.
Please, could you carry 40 pounds? That's going to be including food and some equipment as well.
Okay. I'll let you mark it on your sheet, and I'll mark the weight. Make sure we keep track of that.
Yes, please.
All right.
I'll mark it down in my bio and info then.
All right. Perfect. Well, with some gear rearranged, the party seems destined to tread off as fast as they can, leaving this foul-smelling bar behind. Tell me, who amongst you will act as your party's navigator as you head out beyond the mist?
All
right, Creature. Tell me then, as party navigator, what is your intended route for your first day of travel, and what is the pace that you'll be traveling at?
We go a hasty northwest route, Mr. Greg. That's where we're going.
Hastily northwest. All right.
Yeah.
Please
Where's
tell
my
me,
cigar?
as I am unfamiliar with a hasty pace, what is the official pace that you will be going at?
The fastest possible.
All right, the fastest
Also known
possible.
as fast.
That's what I like to hear. All right, go ahead and give me a navigation check. Your DC for the day will be 10, as you are in your first day of travel, just leaving Farfield Keep.
There you go, boss.
All right. Despite the disadvantage for your fast pace, you managed to find your way through a rolling kind of farmlands and small villages and towns, quickly making the 18 miles or so trek north through the kind of area that feeds Farfield Keep. Soon you find the towns grow more distant, the roads become less and less defined, until eventually large grasses begin growing up about waist high upon a man as they kind of sway in the cold autumn air. Bits of frost beginning to form on the tips of the grasses, kind of melt throughout the day. You all begin crunching your way through, leading your many beasts of burden across the howling fields. Tell me, as you begin making your way into the howling fields for the first time, and I roll to see if you have any encounters, what is the party morale like? How do you spend your time traveling through the now dangerous wilds?
Party.
I believe the Drob is very quiet, as it's his first time beyond the mountains and actually on the field. And he's heard so many bad stories, and even more Murdoch is telling about his deceased friends and allies. So he's very careful and just looking around everywhere, making sure everything's fine.
Murdoch is excited because he wants to tell Nefahito all about the battle against Serpentor. Because we had a large oh shit encounter against him that caused us to run for our lives. Nefahito went down. He almost died. We saved him to make sure that he did not get the level 3 boost. And therefore, Murdoch wants to tell him all about the encounter, what went on, show him his cool bow, and is just happy that he has a former companion that is back alive and ready to go.
All right.
Our boy Creature is sitting on his wagon, leading the party, but he's not engaging with anyone. Even Murdoch, someone he considers his friend. He's in a busy dialogue with himself, talking to some unknown force in his head. Just laughing, enjoying life, pointing at cool stuff, and refusing to talk to anyone else.
Nefito is like he just before we left, he kind of like dropped a lot of acid. So the story that Murdoch's telling him is just like, wow, and it's just like really vivid. And he's there, and he's like, oh my, wow, jeez, and it had even more heads. Oh my, wow,
9 heads, Nefahito. 9 this time.
oh jeez, man, oh, and he's just kind of really into it, and is kind of like a little bit scared and freaking out, and like
Well, as this most interesting of acid trips continues, and you crunch your way through the howling fields, it is Murdoch, keeping a pretty sharp eye as he tells his mighty stories about the slaying of the mighty Serpentor. You, Murdoch, spy out further west from where you are now, a site in the howling fields. It seems the grasses have been cleared out, like a almost circular clearing. And inside of it, you can see what appears to be ruined crumbles of stonework scattered about. What do you do as you see this strange sight out in the fields?
I will walk up to the cart, bang on it a couple of times to get Creature's attention.
What?
Stop the cart. I'll point out
It's
to
a
the
wagon.
west. Okay, stop the wagon.
I
Point out to the west to the cleared out area of stonework and say, there's something over there. Say we check it out.
Well, aren't you a Mr. Sharp Eye all of a sudden? Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
All right.
And I think we'll start making our way there. I don't think we're doing it very stealthily because it doesn't seem like there's anything in there other than some ruins, so we're just going to come right up to it.
As you make your way up to these ruins in the stone or in the fields, you see that not only is there ruined stone peeking up out of this kind of cleared circle of grass, as you make your way closer, you see that this circle is filled with bones, bleach white, and picked entirely clean, as if they have sat there for ages. There are just maybe hundreds of them scattered throughout this clearing, almost haphazardly, as if they had fallen or dropped there in a previous time.
Okay. So we never talked about this because I thought I'd never come back to the show. But can I like just talk to myself real quick and ask a grand old shadow in my mind, like, hey, was this? Did you do this? Is this your work?
No. I like to keep mine nice and juicy. More fun to play with.
Thought so. What a great guy. I point to Murdoch and say, it wasn't our boy, or my boy's work.
You have a son?
Yeah. Kind of.
What?
Something like that. Then I'm gonna skirt the edges, Greg.
Okay.
Skirt the edges of this encampment and see if I can see anything else that stands out besides just the piles of bones. I know there's some stone ruins, but maybe like a centerpiece or a building that is more intact, or maybe something that has like a hatch that leads down. I'm gonna skirt the edge and look first.
Absolutely. You begin skirting the edge and looking. It doesn't take you too long as you're kind of observing and investigating this grounds around the perimeter. The stonework seems to be more cohesive in the center. And you get to the feeling that all of this kind of abandoned stonework probably came from one piece. As if it has been broken and then subsequently scattered across this clearing. From the like almost direct center of the clearing, you find kind of the largest mass of the ruins. Although they aren't a hatch leading downward or anything particularly of note, this is where the stonework seems to be piled most closely.
I'll point that out to the rest of the party and say, any thoughts? With all these bones around here, this seems like a precarious situation. We've dealt with undead before.
But these bones, do they have like any skulls in there, or can we like recognize the bones? Is it like humanoid? Is it like animals like deers? What is it?
They are a mixture. There are many humanoid bones in there, but there are also the bones of animals. You see the bones recognizably of horses, elk, wolves. You see the bones of smaller creatures like rabbits and voles that may have been darting in and out around the fields. You even see a few small birds. But on the whole, it is predominantly humanoids.
Mm-hmm. Well, whoever did that, I don't want to meet them.
True. Do we want to approach?
Yeah.
You do. Or I could summon lightning and blow it up even more. Seems like kind of a waste, though.
Indeed. Shall I go first? See what's there, or
Yeah, do
what
it.
are we doing?
Sure.
Let's
right.
see the new guy at work.
Horror,
Yeah,
you
Drop is gonna
stride bravely through the strewn field of bleach white bones, leading your way up to this kind of central mass of stonework. Nothing happens out of the ordinary as you walk through, everyone else watching intently, waiting for the first sign of danger. But as you approach the center of it, you will notice that these stones, at least here in the center, appear less scattered and more placed. As if the fragments of whatever stonework was once here have been meticulously arranged so that they begin to form what appears to you to be a spiral, winding wider at the edge and tighter as it reaches a narrow, like, bullseye.
Can I stand in the middle of it?
You most certainly can. You step forward. The stonework itself is broken and crumbled. Wouldn't rise much higher than your ankle in places, and you step up onto it and find your way to the very center. Looking around, you can see the scattering of bones in all directions, the faces of your, concentrating friends watching you from afar.
It looks safe. Come on in. I'm not the smartest, so you might think of a reason what's happening. Looks like a spiral.
Yeah. Do you see anything of value in there?
I'll kick some bones around my feet in the center to see what's there.
You kick around in the center, searching for valuables. I almost forgot your character's name. Drob. Why don't you give me an investigation check? You can tell me if it is with your eyes that you are searching as you peer around. Investigation wisdom could be your role, or if you are manually kicking through the rocks, pulling them aside, trying to physically look for them. In which case, I think a investigation dexterity roll would be your go-to.
I do believe he's quite a hefty man, so he's just trying to push as many bones to the side as possible.
Absolutely. You go about tearing apart this finely placed spiral of rocks, attempting to find anything that might be of value inside. Go ahead and give me that roll. Your DC will be 14.
Let him kick. He's got some thighs.
All right. Well,
Not very good.
despite your best efforts as you pull aside as many rocks as you can and throw them about, looking for what's underneath, your investigation reveals not a miss and no treasure to be found.
Nope. Seems like a useless place.
All right, let's keep on keeping on.
Agreed.
All right. You all begin
continue our
to
travels.
resume your travels, making your way across the fields, the creature leading the way confidently northwest and leaving behind this spiral of bone and stone. After about a mile, maybe 2 worth of travel, Murdoch, you are once again keeping a sharp eye out, and you notice something a little bit north and west of your party. It seems to be a clearing in the fields where the grasses have been removed, and there are bleach white bones scattered across them.
I
will-
think back.
I'll point it
no,
out
go
to the
ahead.
party. And then I'll think back as well. Creature, did you hear a story about a place that kind of never ended? You left it, and then you kind of got sent back.
Yeah. I turned into Sherazad. This person told me about it once before they were digested by a frog. I think that was them.
Imagine if we walk up to that clearing up ahead of us there, and I'll point out, we're going to find the same pile of bones that we found the last time.
What? Nuh-uh. I go and confirm.
Let's go ahead and try.
You begin walking directly to it. You stride confidently through the center of this clearing, past the bleach white bones, to find a perfectly intact placed stone spiral, almost as if Drob had never been picking it up and chucking it around to begin with. Or perhaps it is a second one altogether.
All right. I'll take your bait. I get off the wagon. No longer am I Sherazad, but the creature that is creature, with a great big fluttering translucent cloak surrounding my awesome shoulders, and a big sporting facial scar that covers the entire face. I descend and begin to bust out 2 Macarenas and start ritually casting Detect Magic. A Macarena.
All right. You take out your maracas and you begin your ritual dance. It takes creature 10 minutes to perform his sacred dance of the Hagwitch. While he's doing that, what is the rest of the party doing?
I look around. Does it look like the same place you were just
As
an
you
hour
peer
ago?
around, yes, it seems shockingly familiar to you.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take a look at the spiral of stones that leads out. Is it like starting in the center and then slowly like working its way out further and further as you go?
I suppose that is one way to look at it. I described it previously the opposite way, as being wider at the edge and working its way
Wider at
into
the
a
edge.
tight spiral.
Okay.
But I suppose, should you start at the center, it would do exactly as you say, working its way farther out.
How big is the spiral? Like, in terms of diameter?
In terms of diameter, probably about 10 feet.
Okay, cool.
All right. It seems the rest of the party waits as they make their observations of the stone until the ritual dance of the Hagwitch is complete. Creature, you open your eyes. You see a heavy aura of magic surrounding the entirety of this like clearing in the fields. You feel the presence of very faintly in the center of this of a necromantic aura, but it's light, almost as if whatever was there left an impression upon the world, but is not there any longer. The rest of this field has a strong aura of abjuration about it.
Holstering my tactical Macarenas, as I like to call them. I will spend most of my time wandering around, not actually doing anything, just
Okay.
to make it seem like I know what I'm doing, because confidence is key here in this one moment in time.
Absolutely.
And then, stroking my skin, my rough, coarse, leathery skin, I will call out to my team. It appears we are in some form of either trap, barrier, or... Well, the third one's just conjecture. Is there a giant pillar somewhere?
There's the remains of stone that's scattered
Okay.
about here, and there's a spiral made of very meticulously placed broken stone. You might surmise that this all came from one big piece at one point.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't prepared to do a ritual, nor an anti-ritual. However, I've got a theory. What we need to do is invert this ritual spiral right here, right now. And that will allow us to escape what our good barbarian... What's your name again?
Drop.
Drob. Yes, you trapped us. You are the cause and fault of this. Creature with a stick or a femur, whatever he can find first. The
I
longest
definitely
bone
think
possible.
the creature probably walks past a stick and grabs a femur, just because
Perfect.
it suits him more.
I will meticulously start rearranging the bones to be the exact opposite of what they were. So it starts super thin and works its way into a wider... No, wait. It starts wide and then works its way thin? It's going to be a weird flower shape out of skeletal remains.
You begin rearranging the stonework here, attempting to reverse engineer the magics that bind you to this location. Creature, as you perform this ritual, please make me an Arcana intelligence check. Your DC to unbind this ritual will be 14.
Alright. I'm not even going to question. I'm not going to pull the guidance meme on you. How about a 6?
You spend some time, 10 minutes, maybe half an hour, meticulously placing stones, attempting to get them in just the right kind of expanding flower shape that you are certain that you have, inverted the spiral of stonework.
I let out a sigh. This is some wizardry bullshit. I'm not prepared for this.
Did it work?
No. I expected like a loud gong sound to go off in my head, signaling that it did. But no such thing occurred. Hey, yo! I just slapped my head. Speak up, boy. If I'm trapped, you're trapped here too.
But you'll be trapped with me.
That's a good thing.
You only think so now. I will live
keep
forever.
biding your time. And I'll live through you. Okay.
Great.
Demmer, go ahead.
Yeah. What's up?
Is there any wildlife around, like a shrew or a wayward squirrel or something like that?
You
that
begin
might
looking
cast
around
speak?
for something to speak with, but you
Yes.
notice that this place is largely devoid of life. It seems no birds have flown overhead while you've spent some time inside of this field. No small animals scurry through here, almost as if they are avoiding this location.
I mentioned this to my team, saying this place feels like death, but there's nothing to hurt us.
I have an idea.
Yes.
I can communicate to wildlife as well as Mr. Sorry, what's your name again, sir?
Nefeito.
Yes, but I can see through their eyes and hear through their ears. What if one of you druid boys transforms into an animal? I cast my little spell and see what happens when you try to walk away from this place.
I already have too many people in my head. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Would you like a fish? I seen the fish last time I was out here. I almost ate a Murdoch. It was a big one too. Maybe fish is wrong. No, maybe that's probably not best.
Probably not.
How about octopus? Right? Octopus is good, right? No,
Can
actually, I
you
don't
walk
think
on
I've seen one
clouds?
of those. Little meta. Okay, let's say a bat, tiny bat.
Yeah.
Nefahito, you transform into a leathery winged bat.
Sorry, before you do okay, he already transformed. I should have probably asked how long it lasts. And I'm gonna
An
start
hour.
with an hour, perfect. I will ritually cast Beast Sense in that case. Which should allow me to see through his beastly eyes and hear through his beastly ears?
Sure, why not? I imagine that if Nefahito is willing, you can touch the combat form that he has taken, this mighty bat. You attempt to see through his eyes, and you find that you are quickly blind. Although the sonar radiating from his screeches is quite useful.
And I kind of point towards the sky, and I allow my party members to see what's happening through, real life, and I'm gonna see what's happening through his eyes.
All right. Nefahito, you are now a big leathery bat. You are blind to the world, though your screeches reveal you the locations of many things. What do you do?
I start flying high, screeching around, like singing a song, trying to get kind of a layout of this area. See if there's more areas like this. Is there many? Is this the same one we seen last time?
You try, circumnavigating the area around this field, looking for more places like it. And with your echolocation, your sonar does not reveal any. Though you can see this one clearly, the many stones and bones reflecting back to you. You do not notice any other locations that seem similar. In fact, mostly just the waving kind of fields of grass and the dying late afternoon sun that you can't see but can hear.
You can feel it.
So, for the hell of it, I fly really high, then drop, and really high and drop, and just wow, trip. And it's,
Perfect.
Oh, I tried to fly away, out of sight. Let's see what happens, how you come back here.
I'm just gonna start digging up the hole, or not the hole. I'm gonna make a hole at the center, the epicenter of where the bones were.
All right.
We're gonna dig.
I have a shovel on my donkey.
All right.
Oh, 2 shovels. Let's go.
As Nefahito begins to fly away, Murdoch and Creature begin to dig at the center of this stone spiral that has been re-engineered to be more like a stone flower, attempting to dig up bones from underneath. Nafito, you fly, I assume, away, attempting to escape this place?
Yes. That'll be one of the things. Just to kind of, look at the edge of this place, maybe others places, stuff like this. But I don't want to go too far. I assume I could return.
Absolutely. You fly about a mile, maybe a mile and a half, trying to extend your reach away from this place. And as you do so, you start getting the echoes back of an open field with obstructions in it, like bones and stone. You go flying towards it. And eventually you find yourself echoing back not only bones and stone, but the forms of two digging men at the center of it, as you have somehow flown straight back into this same location that you were at before.
I'm like, whoa, my God. There's two other men here digging. Wow. I better return to my team. I better,
Navahito then flies a mile back south until he comes back to his team digging at the center of the spiral.
That's about right.
I come back and I inform, I was mentally with, can I communicate? This is a good question. I didn't read Beast Sense.
I do not believe you can communicate with the beast. You see through its eyes and hear through its ears. It's like having the senses that the beast has, but it's not a mental communication with it.
He's not. You're not a familiar.
Yes, okay.
Essentially, yeah.
I come back and I transform back into my place and go, guys, you wouldn't believe what I seen. It was and I just fill them in on the other guys, and they're kind of looking exactly like you guys digging here.
I throw him a shovel. Get digging!
Are we digging? And I sort of kind of toy digging, not necessarily putting my back into it, but kind of doing the best I can. But guys, are we digging for gold? We're going to the other end of the.
We're digging for gold.
Mm-hmm.
Put your back into it.
You continue digging, the three of you pulling out large amounts of earth, creating a kind of sizable hole underneath the what would be the remnants of this stone pillar. Eventually the light begins to bleed from the sky, sun begins setting, and the stars begin appearing above you. As you look, the four of you will notice that directly above you, you begin to see the forms of a constellation of stars that in fact look something like this spiral of stone that you have displaced in your digging efforts.
Okay, so nothing was buried under the spiral?
No, you dig and dig, but if there was something buried here, it is no longer there.
Should we try to fully ruin the spiral? Like make sure there's no spiral shapes or anything in the bone pile at all?
The magic was already cast. Whatever we did to trigger the trap's gone off.
Should we reset it and see if something happens in the moonlight?
I look at the hundreds of pounds of earth we have moved. I don't know if we'll get the perfect reset, but I have a feeling if we travel a mile or so, all of that will be put back for us. Would you like to test my theory?
No. My leg's moving again, so sure.
No.
All right.
Yeah.
And so you pack up your shovels and begin traveling northward, attempting to leave this place behind you. kind of. So you do. You travel about a mile and a half, and soon the four of you see a strange sight. In the fields in front of you, there is a clearing where the grasses seem to have been stripped away. There are piles of bones, bleach white, and stonework spewed about. The digging that you have done is no longer there. In its place, there is a small spiral of stonework, and above it you can see faintly, amongst the light of the stars, what appears to be a small cage of, like, silvery, thin energy. And inside of it, you've just can feel a coldness emanating from it. Even from the distance that you are, you can feel the, like, temperature drop as you are approaching this spiraled shape.
Chilly.
So the cage that we see it up in the sky, or we see it above the spiral?
Above the spiral, maybe 5 or 6 feet high, of just kind of a thin shimmer, almost as if starlight itself was, like, down here in front of you.
Perhaps this is what imprisons us?
Undoubtedly. Unfortunately, druids don't have access to dispel magic. So we're kind of boned here, boys. And I kick some bones around. I'm sorry, I wanted to do a pun.
No worries, no worries. I get it. You know, I'm kind of stoned here, and I kick one of the stones. Ow! Oh.
Well, there's only one thing we can do, isn't there? Let's go see
Onto
what that
the
thing
sky. What? Oh. Can you fly? It's above us, right?
You approach the center of this clearing once more. You see about 5 or 6 feet above the stone this kind of glowing, faint light cage made of almost pure starlight. In the center of it is an entity. You can feel it. You feel the, like, skin begin to, like, prickle. The bumps begin to form. You can feel the coldness radiating from it and the sense of being watched. Though you cannot see what is inside of this cage, you know and can understand its presence.
Oi, let us out, please.
No, it's not what you do when you talk to a ghost. You say, "Hey, it's your boy, Creature, coming at you with another hot single."
You request it to be let out, or you request that it let you out, and then Creature, begins to sell his album to the entity.
Yeah.
I'm mocking it,
Void.
yeah.
I request for him to let us fall out.
There is no voice, there is no answer, but Creature, inside of your head, you hear a cackling. It says, "You would think you would recognize a prison when you see one."
Of course, it's a cage. Do you have more insight, bud? I'm not the smartest tool in the shed.
I've noticed.
Oh.
I had like 7 int. That was my lowest stat, you fool.
We're just a bunch of
Just a shit show here. As we see this cage, I'm going to start walking around it, and I'm going to look to see if it's just a cage that is floating, or if there's any tendril that connects to something around this circle.
The cage itself shimmers, like watching maybe mercury kind of float through water. At times you see it shimmer bright and clear, and at times it's almost translucent. But as you observe, it seems to top out about 6 feet above the spiral at the very center, and then almost like an ovoid, it comes down around the sides, reaching to the edge of the, like, 10 foot of stone. The light touching the very edges of the meticulously placed stone spiral.
There's no creature within, right?
Though you cannot see anything inside the cage with your own eyes, you are viscerally aware of a presence.
Could I
Yeah.
could I toss a stone inside the shimmering light, just like
You'd pick up a stone, find just the right weight, and give it a hefty toss. As you do so, the stone itself passes through the light, and you expect to hear it like fall upon the ground or toss to some other side, but it seems to just disappear entirely as you toss it in.
I think we're looking at a classic portal situation, friends. I've seen it a million times. It's your problem. You with your deities and your, shimmering lights. They grow into other dimensions.
What? There's only one dimension.
Hmm. Well, you can
Did you
see
eat
it
some
better.
shrooms from the Farfield Keep, like the mossy parts, or what's happening here?
Oh, those ones are great. Come on.
Understandable.
But I think this one is real. It's not just a me thing. It's a all-y thing. Everyone. This is a real hole into another world. Otherwise, that everyone would have heard. Like you're seeing the same thing, right? And I'm just kind of
Yeah,
like,
yeah, we saw it.
right?
I'll
Okay,
pull out.
gotcha.
I'll pull out a javelin. I'll pull out a javelin and try and stick it halfway through.
All right, you stick your javelin halfway through. There is no resistance as you press it to the center of this, or towards the center of this cage. But you do not see the javelin as it passes by this kind of starlight barrier to the other side. You are simply holding a wooden haft. As you look for the result of this, but you see nothing past the edge of this silvery cage.
So
Well,
who's
if it
going
is
first to try it out?
Well, we
Into
have
a
some
prison?
options. We
Yeah.
should talk about it real fast.
I have an
That's when-
option. Go ahead,
That's when
creature.
creature
then I have
pushes.
one. Creature drop kick somebody else in front of him. Portal.
I'm just like positioning myself behind Nefertito.
Yep.
So we can either try to destroy the cage. I might have a thing that could do that. I don't want to do that necessarily. We could go in, since clearly we mortal, physical, material creatures can interact with this thing or go through it. Or alternatively, one of us can speak to the light itself. Who wants to do that? Any volunteers?
I tried
have-
doing that.
I have one potential option to maybe give us a little more information.
Let's hear it.
Can you check I know you checked the magic around here earlier, but that was before this started showing up. And then Neferhito commented maybe it's a portal. If you do your little shaky dance and check the magic and it's a portal, you may be able to tell it's a portal.
You are a mighty fine wizard, Murdoch. Why don't I go ahead and do that? Even though part of me is screaming not to for some reason. I will ritually cast Detect Magic once more.
All right. You ritually cast
Mon ami.
Detect Magic. You take out the tactical maracas and begin the dance of the Hagwitch once more. After 10 minutes of your dance pass, you open your eyes and you see very clearly a beast beyond description. The form has 1,000 gibbering, sloshing, sliding mouths full of teeth and sharp biting, like just vicious claws that move about inside of its nearly gelatinous body. It is trapped in this cage, but you can see like what it is trapped in is far beyond where you stand now. You peer into the stars beyond as you peer at the magic of this creature. You begin now, as you see its form, to hear its gibbering song. It sounds horrifying and inviting at the same time. Please make for me a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Easy peasy. How about
All
a 22?
right. You steel your mind to the chorus of ceaseless, like, gibbering and singing from the creature. And eventually you still your mind and return to your, like, normal faculties.
All right, so destroying the cage is out. I'm not going to explain what I saw, but that should give some of you some key-in information just by your proxy and knowing who I am. Okay. My guess is right now that we wandered into a containment area for some moon star spirit or something to keep this fucking thing. And I point to the cage, not explaining what's in it. Trapped here, which should be. I don't think we should mess with this one, fellas. The real question is, how do we get out now that we're trapped here too? I am taking ideas. Anyone's ideas.
Well, if you can see through the light, I'm gonna try and poke my stick through it again. Does the stick go next to the creature, or what's happening?
As you retract your javelin from the starlit cage, you pull it back, expecting to see the full haft and the metal point, but nothing returns to you beyond what you could see. It seems that whatever portion of your javelin transversed. Is that a real word?
Reverse.
Sure. The starlit cage, it did not return when you pulled it back.
Hey, stop fucking with it. I get it, you want to, but next time you do, I'm pushing you in and hoping a sacrifice will get us out of here. Ooh.
But
All right.
what if we fill it with rocks? You know, eventually this place is gonna get full, right?
No, it's like connected to the star realm or whatever.
Are these bones like belong to it? Are they related? Oh, I think I. Oh, it kind of dawns on him. Like, it's not good.
What was your idea to get rid of the cage?
I was gonna moonbeam it and try to absorb it or give a.
Drob is
a
just
little
gonna start tossing bones into the portal, or whatever it is,
Hey!
while others think of reasons.
I'm pointing
You
you.
just start picking up bones and hucking them in. One of these will do it, I swear. Give me that femur.
Hey, Nefahito, you're a moon guy, right? You worship the moon, like me?
Oh yeah. Moon's cool, man. Yeah.
All right, let's try to get the moon's attention. See if we can get some help here. Serpentor? Let's taunt a motherfucker. I didn't. Greg, you should have told me I needed to get some rhymes out. I'm not ready to rhyme. I want to make a provocative dance, I suppose, to draw the moon's ire. Or like the attention of like a star spirit or a lunar goddess or something to be like, hey yo, we're here, let us out, keep this thing in. And I will use Nefahito as a spell component if I must.
Okay, so you are going to provocatively dance to attempt to get the attention of a god of unknown power and origin to let you out of this Okay, so what I'm going to need from you, and Nefahito can assist in this, is I'm going to need a performance check, as you are going to provocatively dance your way into the eyes of a goddess.
-1
Serpentor's
performance.
guiding me, right?
-1.
Yeah, I got
Alright.
-1 too.
You and Temer join hands and begin the dance of I don't know. yeah, a little bit of this, little vogue,
shimmy and
You
shammer.
attempt to garner the attention of a goddess. Please give me a performance check at advantage.
Okay. 17?
All right.
It's not
Straight
bad.
nine. Straight nine.
You dance your heart out, attempting to find the attention of a goddess. It is not the moon that responds to your advances, however. You feel a eye upon you, deep and dark and long as the night itself. And you do not hear so much as you feel the intent behind it. And it offers you a choice. Kill the creature that is trapped here and earn your freedom. Or undertake its quest and destroy the evil that has tainted the night to earn your freedom. And it shows you visions of a great tower, surrounded on all sides by the dancing undead, and a horrible man at the top of it, bathed in the blood of heroes.
Well, he did say he wanted to find out who it was.
This is true. I dig it. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be mad with me if I do this, though, Greg. Out of character. To slay 2 bosses. But I'm down for that. Hey, boys! Is it time to divert course? I'm just saying, we got a man without skin dancing the Macarena in his tower, thinking he's cool, and we're loaded with magical weapons and a need to kill. Let's be honest, you guys are bloodthirsty maniacs. What say you?
Is this naked man? Is he strong? I don't just want to kill a random man.
You know, I only caught a brief bit, but if we don't bring a scroll to torpedo our own party, I think we'll be okay. Maybe.
We'll undertake this quest.
Or we could open the cage and kill the monster, which is probably going to be a lot easier, but with less loot.
You know, I'm kind of thinking, why don't we kill this shithead for trapping us here, and then we go kill the other naked man, because he's annoying as fuck as well.
I looked at Nefahito, the most bloodthirsty man amongst us.
I'm like, well, you know, it seems kind of wrong to like roll up in someone's crib and while he's all freeballing and then kill him. I mean, it's just I think that would be wrong if someone did that to me. But
hang on 1 second. My mind goes blank. I think of course, my boy Serpentor, but also this new dark presence that it's welcome into my headspace, dude. Who cares? Hey, if we say we'll do both, you want to give us some help? A magical boon, or
you feel the weakening of the presence of this great lady of the night, and you know that help in this way is beyond her at this point. For her powers are weakened. They control this beast only at the greatest extent of her influence in the material world.
Okay, does she want us to jump into the cage and fight it there, or break the cage and fight it here? Can I get that before she withers away into nothingness or whatever?
She just gives you the feeling of a choice is made, and you see the starlit cage begin to melt away, much like mercury. It falls and splashes down, and
battle formations!
From the center of the starlit cage walks, or more promptly slithers, a horrifying mass of flesh and teeth and eyes, none staying in one place for long, and all of them chittering, chattering, jabbering, filling the world with inane and horrifying sound. Everyone, please roll me initiative.
We don't need a map for this. What
No,
is it?
I am not gonna make you have a map for just this
Perfect.
fight. Excellent. Creature with a 5. Excellent. What I am gonna do is find myself.
Way
my
to go,
monster.
guys! Holy
Ooh, look at that. All right.
Look at this.
So Murdoch with a 22, Nefahito a 20, Drob a 20. Oh my goodness. Creature, though, bringing up the rear. Good dwarfy initiative there. I will roll in just a second here as I figure out what my actual stats are.
Mhm.
Excellent. The creature will go at 13. All right. The first to react is Murdoch as this horrifying thing from beyond the stars begins to slither out towards you. It's chattering, growing all the louder. You start your turn within 20 feet of it. Please make me a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw. All right.
I pass.
You steel yourself against its horror. What do you do?
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to back up about 30 feet away from it, where I'm at right now. Skitter back a little bit. Because I hear the chittering and it scares the shit out of me, Greg. So, after I get to that point, though, I'm going to pull out my bow. The one that I pulled from Serpentor's lair. It's a bow made of bone. It has infernal runes on it. As I grab this bow and I start pulling an arrow out, the runes start to glow a little bit red. And I think anybody who looks over towards Murdoch will see that his eyes start growing a little red with the runes on the bow. I am going to go ahead and declare this creature my sworn enemy.
Excellent. You read your incantation of enmity upon this creature. An infernal tongue binds you, and you can feel a horrid power pulse through you from the bow, needing to kill this thing.
And then I will let loose an arrow, and I will shoot at it at advantage, as this bow gives me advantage against my sworn enemy.
Absolutely.
Nice.
24 will hit. Please give me some damage.
Wonderful. And as I am a rogue and I have advantage on the roll, this should proc my sneak attack, correct?
Yes, I didn't actually think of that, but it would, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, I thought of it. Yes, it does. So this will proc my sneak attack, plus my bow will do an extra 2d6 worth of damage against this enemy. So that's a lot of 2s and 1s as it takes 17 damage.
All right, you
Holy
fire
crap.
a shot into the center of the mass of this thing. Your bow sinks into its quivering flesh and then begins to get absorbed into the creature. It almost seems as if the creature itself is hardly bothered by your attack. Excellent.
As in,
And
you did declare to me that this was a magical bow.
Is
that correct?
I did.
Well, then this creature is a badass then.
This creature is fairly badass.
And I'm going to need to do better than a roll of a 6 on 46 next time. That is my turn.
All right. With that, Drob and Nefahito, which of you has the higher dexterity?
Pretty sure it should be me, because I have 16, I believe. 15, sorry.
Better than me.
All right,
Win.
excellent. Drob, you are the first to react between the two of you. You see Murdoch pull out his infernal bow, take a shot, and it seems to barely affect this creature. What do you do?
So that depends how huge is this creature. Is he
It
large
is
size,
the
larger than
size
large?
of a man in total. Its mound of flesh could rise 5 feet or more above the ground. Though its tendrils move and suction in strange ways, this flowing mass of flesh is more voluminous than a man would be, though it takes up about the same 5 foot square.
In that case, I would absolutely love to try my best to trap him and make him
Alright.
restrained so he cannot attack us. So I will pull out one of the necks that is kind of twisted around my shoulders, and I will toss a net at that guy.
All right.
And-
Before you toss your net, you did start your turn within 20 feet of the creature. Please make for me a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw.
There we go.
All right. You succeed. You pull out your net and you go to throw it upon the creature in its strange-like form. Excellent. Go ahead and give me a roll to hit on your net throw.
And I will be as reckless as possible, trying to get a good angle on
using
it.
your reckless attack with the net. Absolutely.
Yeet!
All right, you throw the net, gathering it around this gelatinous cube. The net sinks onto it, and it begins to like do that thing that cheese does when it's sat too long, and like press through the squares of the net. It cannot quite absorb through it, though it is stuck for a moment.
Good.
Good net.
All right.
And I will step forward.
All right, excellent. You step forward, closing the rest of the ground with you and the creature. Nevahito, you see it momentarily stuck in a net as it's trying to squeeze its way through as Drob bravely steps forward. What do you do?
Here's a question. Am I already 20 feet
Yes.
inside? I am. Okay. So I will cast Shillelagh,
All right.
and then I will strike it.
All right, you go to cast your shillelagh, transmuting a simple wooden club into a magical weapon. As you prepare your mistletoe and your shamrock leaf, make for me a wisdom saving throw DC 10.
Oh, 1 second.
All right, you steel yourself against the inane gibbering. You cast your magic upon your staff, and it is aglow with the light of the moon.
All right, I will swing. Does that show up? Oh, no.
You swing your quarterstaff, striking into the mound of flesh, leaving behind a hiss as the magic strike it. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Okay.
All right. It takes some damage and then continues its insane chattering. The hissing faintly subsides as it tries to press its way through the net that it is trapped in. Excellent.
Sorry to be annoying, but I do
Yes.
believe you should have advantage, just in case you make a critical hit.
Sure. Fish for that crit.
Okay, gotcha.
You also do more damage.
Yep.
Let's see here. Just roll again.
All right.
Well,
It happens as we saw before. So, this thing is going to attempt to get out of this damnable net. It will make a strength check. Yes.
I would also just back away, like out of the
Sure, why
range?
not? This thing is going to get out of your net with a strength check, maybe? With a 22, I believe it will burst the net, its putrid flesh ripping through the netting, and then it begins to slide its way forward. As it does so, you can see the aberrant ground around it, chewing up the howling fields, leaving behind some strange, mucky mess. It turns some of its thousands of eyes upon you, and it rolls to see if it has its stuff. It does not. It stares at you, Drob, hungrily, salivating, wanting to eat you, but it can't this turn. Creature, you see all this happen. What do you do?
I was with Nefahito, so I assume I'm out, or am I now?
You are going to everyone is starting within 20 feet of this creature for the sake of this.
No.
You succeed on your save. You steel your nerves against its gibbering mouths.
I'm just gonna back up a little bit,
Okay.
back it up, hang out with Murdoch, and then I wanted to do this against Serpentor, but now I'm just gonna do it here. I'm gonna call down some lightning as though I was Thor himself.
Excellent.
So above, I snap my fingers. I'm like, I need some lightning, baby. And a great big cloud forms, and a lightning bolt just crashes down, flashes from the cloud to that point.
Absolutely, yes. A giant storm cloud, a column of pure rage of the sky forms, and a streak of lightning comes flashing down upon the creature. It will make a saving throw.
Lightly tickles him as it comes by.
Yes, it
looking at
fails
Murdoch.
to get out of the way of your lightning bolt as the electricity races through it, dealing some amount of damage. You can see its fleshy bits of smoke and smolder where the lightning struck before being subsumed by more eyes and teeth as it moves forward.
No big deal.
All right.
I let Drob do the main fighting, kind of embarrassed and sheepishly.
All right, absolutely. Murdoch, it returns to you. You see the tickle of the lightning strike the creature. The column of clouds still reign above it. What do you do?
Am I within 20 feet of the creature at this point?
You
or
said
am I
you
far
moved
enough
back at the end of last turn,
did.
so I assume that you are not.
All right. I'm going to strafe to the side a little bit away from creature, so we're not standing too close to each other, trying to spread out away from this thing, and then I'm going to take another shot at this thing.
Absolutely.
This abomination. Rolling at advantage. Does a 13 hit
A
it?
13 will hit.
Well, that's good, because that was a crappy roll. But this time I will do
Damn.
29
All
points of damage.
right, excellent. You strike another arrow true. This one clipping into one of the hundreds of eyes rolling through its like mouth-shaped flesh. It pops and oozes down before the arrow is absorbed into the creature, dealing some more damage. Excellent.
Jeez.
This is 15, 24. 32. Cool.
Are you gonna use one of your cool arrowheads, Shadow?
All right.
Not against this thing.
With that, it is Drob. Drob, you stepped forward after casting your net and are in melee range with this creature. The thousands of screeching mouths assault your senses, attempting to turn your brain into mush. Please make for me a DC 10 Wisdom saving throw.
You know what? Natural 20 just for you incoming.
Oh, I like the confidence. Ooh, but instead, you fail. Roll for me a D8.
Sure.
On your turn, you take no action or bonus action. Instead, you use all of your movement to move in a randomly determined direction. Go ahead and roll me another D8. You run exactly south and east away from the creature as fast as your legs can carry you, rushing away from the horror that is the gibbering mouther. You move the full 120 feet. No. Full 60 feet of your movement as your turn ends. Excellent. With that, Nefehito, you see your friend run in terror at this creature. What do you do?
Oh, no, wait. He's over there, that direction. And here's a question. Was I able to back away?
I believe the three of you all said you backed away at the end of your turn. So
Okay, gotcha.
that
No
is
worries.
how I see it in my head.
Then I'll produce a flame.
All right. You produce a ball of flame in your hand and fire it at this mound of flesh, striking it and dealing some amount of damage. Yes, the flame powers forth. It can do no worse than it already does. You tickle right where the lightning was before, just working on that little spot. You're sure that's going to be how to kill it.
I'll kill it with fire, and then I'm like, wait, warm it with fire, or slightly heat it up.
Excellent. And with that, the creature continues to move its way forward, sliding inexorably across the ground, leaving an aberrant, horrifying dough-like substance behind it and in its wake. It moves and crawls its way forward, and it begins to build up a mass amount of like chemical and spittle, and it's salivating, jabbering, toothy mouths, and it spits it at both creature and Nefahito. Both of you, please make for me DC 13 dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
All right. Both of you
Nice roll.
duck just in time as a blinding flash of light explodes around you. This flash is sharp and would have blinded you, but you managed to avoid any repercussions. And that is the end of its turn. Excellent. Creature, you were almost blinded, but instead it is your turn. What do you do?
Like a Cowboy Bebop enthusiast, I whip out my rod, my scepter of lightning bolts. I don't know why I said rod so soon. And I'm gonna blow this guy away. This guy, that's a little bit better than Call Lightning, I'd say. Just
All
by,
right.
like,
This guy
10
fails his dexterity check. Your scepter strikes with 30 points of lightning damage, arcing through the creature. You can see bits of its flesh turning black, smoldering in its like mound as the teeth chatter and move. It seems as if the creature itself is slowing in its like inexorable turn, but it does not fail.
That's unfortunate because Creature was too busy like turning away to look cool with the explosion behind him. And despite what Murdoch says of not wanting to get close to it, Murdoch wants to. Well, Creature and Murdoch are friends. Murdoch, you can't just run away from him. So he is by Murdoch at all times, no matter how far he runs.
You move right to where Murdoch was. Excellent.
Yes, exactly.
Murdoch, creature blasts it with a bolt of lightning from his scepter and then rushes towards you. What do?
I let him calmly run past me as my eyes focus in on this thing, and I will fire another arrow.
Excellent.
Once I get on the right page. There we go. That's a crit, Greg.
You critically strike this thing. Please roll me damage.
Oof. Oh, I cannot wait to roll you damage. It's 28, 38, 42.
42 points of damage. Your bow comes racing out and explodes into the center of this creature. Greg has to do some math because the creature is dead. The foul, infernal energy of your bow imbues such horrendous power to this arrow that as it strikes into this mound of flesh, you can see it like imploding upon itself as the arrow passes through it, and the whole thing melts down and fades away into this doughy like aberrant ground that it has left behind, the only reminder of the horror that was almost unleashed upon this world.
Just as the last thing, I get Murdoch to like pose with me, like back to back, get his hand pointing at the moon, like, that one's for you, babe! And we watch Strobe continue to sprint off.
As Drob returns from his fear, the gibbering no longer affecting his mind, you can see the like remains of this creature dissipating, melting into this dough-like ground. And as it does so, the earth begins to fall away, almost in a perfect like circle, right where you had been digging before. The aberrant ground falling into itself, and in the center of it lies 60 gold pieces worth of valuable gemstones that have the translucent quality of the moon. And next to them, a single shield made from a similar translucent, almost gem-like quality of material.
I still have detect magic going.
It
no,
is
I don't. I was
probably not still going.
You concentrated on call lightning, so it's off.
Yep. I don't know what detect magic is, dude. I'm assuming that our girl, I guess, is paying up. Ooh, seems cool, guys. Quest complete.
Creature looks the shield. Oh yeah, it's magical.
Slurping it up. I look and hold the shield for Nefahito. You deserve this.
Thank you. I guess I have a wooden shield that I'm carrying around. I could use this one until we part. Anybody okay with that?
I don't know what Drobe uses. Do you use a great axe or a longsword?
Use the
Drobe
mute
is
button.
still being affected by the mind-altering effects of the gibberer, I see.
You're muted.
Super muted.
Sorry, am I not? Was I
There you
muted?
go. He's back with us.
100% muted. Couldn't hear a single word you said.
Sorry, I was still getting over whatever the creature said to me. It offended me deeply.
Yes.
I use both a shield and a great sword, and I have a great axe strapped to my back. Whatever calls for the situation, you know.
All right.
But I'm fine with Nefahito having the shield. Absolutely.
He earned it. He did the most damage to it
He
by
did.
far.
As we gather up the coins and the shield, I think I look at everybody and say, "Well, I think it's time we get out of this place because I'm pretty tired of it. Should we move somewhere away from here and then camp for the night?"
It seems like this place, from what I understand, all the creatures try to avoid it. If anything, we should sleep here. We
Yeah,
have
we'll go
the
up
moon
a
goddess's
little bit.
protection as well. Yeah.
Look at all the bones that are all over the place.
No.
Are the bones still there, or are they gone in the ground now?
The bones themselves are still there, bleached white, and picked entirely clean.
We can just go up, move like 500 feet or so away from here, and just
Okay.
hang out.
I'll accept that compromise.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. You
mission
spend some
complete, guys.
time moving a few hundred feet or so through the howling fields in the dead of night. It is chillingly cold, though you leave much of the worst of it behind, and eventually begin bedding down for the night. Your first day of travel finally at an end. So, any spells or anything for in terms of Goodberry or Create Water, any survival, or shall we
Hey.
get to rolling?
We're not rolling.
We're not rolling. I had a feeling. All right, creature casts Create Water and Goodberry and feeds everyone for the night. I assume you have enough Goodberries for the party and all pack animals.
Yeah.
Okay,
Think so.
perfect. You spend a night. You don't have to worry about any of the foraging, but you may regain hit points by spending any amount of hit dice that remain in your pool, as well as any class features and spell slots associated with a long rest in the player's handbook. At the end of that, you may recover 1/2 of your hit dice rounded up for use in the next day. As morning comes, creature, are you still leading our party forward?
I believe so, but I am changing a spell.
All right.
See you later, Call Lightning. You were cool. But really underwhelming there. All right, we're going to speak to a plant today.
Perfect. So, after you rearrange your spells and get prepared to lead the party out in the morning. Creature, what is your intended route of travel for today? And what is the pace that you'll be going at?
I think we're just gonna keep going northwest, Mr. Greg. All right, I'm a liar. We're gonna take Windwall instead. All right. Survival, right?
Yes, please. You're going to go northwest at a fast pace as you did the time before?
Natural 1, yes.
All right. Tell me, creature, what is it about your travels today that slows you down in the Howling Fields?
Easily getting distracted by inquiring to my Serpentor, like, hey, what spell should I prep today? Like, what do you think would be like a fun experience to enjoy life? And of course, Serpentor, who hates the living, is always like, you know, screw you, I'm gonna murder you, and stuff like that, in his usual hostile manner. And I'm just like, you're such a good friend. I'm trying to overwhelm him with positivity, and it's somewhat distracting.
So as you argue with the voice in the back of your head of the forgotten once ruler of the swamps, you lead your party a little bit astray, finding yourselves in the thickest of the grasses and just having a generally slower go of it than you expect as you march your way through the Howling Fields. Excellent. You push on as best you can for the day. After your harrowing adventures the night before, what is the mood like as you are all traveling through these Howling Fields?
None of us took any damage. None of us got hit. We just killed the big-ass creature. I don't think anybody should be feeling bad.
All right.
Murdoch is pretty confident at this point.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on from the Howling Fields. Preacher's excited. We're going to someplace new.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay. Well, despite the encounter, you feel good and you are ready for new adventures. As you travel about noontime, it is Drob as you are wandering through the fields, ready to see what new adventures await you. You spot off to the east of the party a strange, looking metal shape rising out of the fields. You peer at it for a moment, and it looks like a metal man almost kneeling in the grasses of the Howling Fields. What do you do?
Hey guys, look! Iron Man!
Oh, it's my old friend.
Oh, you know him?
While. I do.
Who's that?
Well, he doesn't have a name. He's just a cored out golem, I think we found, like, 1,000,000 years ago? Back during summer.
Go say
hi? He's not much of a talker.
Oh, yeah, let's ignore him.
Yeah.
All right. And with that, you carry on, ignoring the sight of the metal man in the fields and making your way further along. Excellent. As the late afternoon sun begins to wash over the fields, Nefahito, you are having yourself a grand old time in the back, reminiscing about all those mushrooms back at the fields. And as you look up into the sky, you see shapes flying past you and the party. At first, you don't take much notice of them until they come back again. Then again, they seem to be getting closer to you. There are 6 winged birds of prey with leathery black wings, seemingly circling the party as they travel through the Howling Fields. What do you do?
I see them, and I immediately get scared. I start saying in my party, like, guys, there's something up there. I don't think they are friendly. It's kind of still looking up.
I suppose we all look up and see the vulture-like creatures. Or are
Absolutely. You
they-
see black
Yeah.
winged creatures circling your party as you travel your way northward through the fields.
Well, what do you think, friends? Do we stop and take care of this, or do we try to
Yeah.
push forward?
Just
Are
shoot
they
'em.
vultures? Are they vultures?
Normally, that's usually how it goes.
I mean, we can just keep walking. If they decide to come closer, we can, take care of them. But
If they're within bow range, Murdoch, just start shooting. Let's deal with them now.
Yeah, is there one within 150 feet of me, Greg?
Absolutely.
I want to try to get one that's not really looking at me if I can. I want to try to pop a quick shot against him.
All right.
You want me to try to sneak around the cart to get a hidden spot, or?
You
no?
sneak around the cart. You attempt to find a quickie, a little cheeky shot at one of these flying creatures as they circle around you. Go ahead and give me a stealth dexterity check. 17. Absolutely. You duck behind the cart for just a moment, keeping an eye out for one as it kind of banks away and as it's beginning to sweep around again, and you think this is the perfect time to get your shot.
I will go ahead and take a quick shot at it.
All right.
Am I able to shoot at advantage?
Yes, you are.
Right. A 22.
All right, you strike the creature. Your arrow comes flying out, burying it right in the back as it's flying away. There's a large creature screeching out in pain.
Just point of order, I am not declaring this my sworn enemy. I'm just firing a shot.
Excellent.
I will deal 15 damage to it.
You deal 15 damage to the creature. Excellent. It screeches in pain. You can see blood falling from it in big, heavy droplets as it dips and begins to falter in its flight. But as the screeches ring out, you see the rest of the birds turn towards the party, and it is go time, as they say. Everyone, please roll me some initiative as these great winged creatures come to assault you in the field.
Click your tokens. Click your tokens. Don't forget to click your token.
yes,
Thank you
John,
for
thank
saying
you.
Don't forget.
Ah, amazing.
Very nice.
All right, I have Creature Nefahito, Drob, and Murdoch, and somehow not my Raven. Why? Who cares? I
Did you click your token, Greg?
did. It's clicked. I promise you. I sees it. Alrighty. So, after
I know
Murdoch's
why, Greg.
shot... Huh?
You made an intelligence check, not an initiative roll.
Oh, well, that would explain it then. Let's change that up. I clicked the wrong button, apparently. There we go. Initiative 9 for the creature. All right. The first to react is Creature. As you see Murdoch pop off his shot, and the creatures begin to descend towards your party rapidly. What do you do?
That's a good question. A very, very good question, Mr. Greg. I think... John's looking at Windwall because he just picked it and he doesn't actually know what it does yet. I don't think we need to think about this too much. I am going to cast a spell, which is called... Where is it?
Where is it is a very interesting spell.
I'm actually not going to cast a spell, Greg.
Okay.
Locate object.
I'm going to turn into a direwolf and ready in action to attack something.
All right. You turn yourself into a direwolf. Blub, 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 blub. There you go. Your direwolf token, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. And I will attack anything that gets close to me or me and an ally.
All
within
right.
range.
All right, you prepare to attack the first thing that flies within range. Nefihito, you see your companion druid turn into a mighty direwolf. What do you do as you prepare for this attack?
Join me. It's time. You're muted. I love you, Temper.
Love you too, man. Love you too, man. I just produce a flame and I hold it and I'm waiting for it to get close. When it gets close, I'm gonna fire that.
You transform your hand into a wreath of flame, holding it, waiting for the precise moment to strike. And with that, the giant creatures come screeching forward. First from the south, this creature comes flying in. Whoosh. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 is too much. It will go here instead.
Nice.
And it will come flying in. Nefihito, it reaches the range of your bolt of fire. Do you throw it?
Of course, I will. Huh.
All right.
Gotcha.
Excellent.
Good old Huck. Let's see.
A good old Huck. You just... the flame comes tumbling towards the creature. It banks at the last moment, skillfully dodging the oncoming flame as your flames ignite some like grass in the background. I'm sure it's fine. All right. And with that, the creature unfurls its mighty talons, and they come rushing straight for Murdoch. It attacks you with a 20, which I believe
That
will
will
hit
definitely
you.
hit.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Murdoch, please take from me 8 points of slashing damage. The creature then will follow it up with its beak as it scratches at you, attempting to rip the tendons from your neck with a 15?
One shy, 16 AC.
One shy. All right. But it is not to be outdone here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Oh, well, it is going to be slightly outdone. This one uses all its movement to fly up towards you. And then, from the west, Job, you see this injured creature, and it is going to rush up towards you using all of its movement, as does this one here. Alright. They cannot attack. This one comes dive bombing in. Boom, boom, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It is right there. Mr. Direwolf, you see this beak come clashing in to try to get you, but you've been waiting, holding on for this moment.
I have been. Haven't I? Why don't we go ahead and normal roll? No, I haven't.
Oh, you slash out, attempting to bring it to the ground, but you cannot. And instead, it will unfurl its talons and try to rake them across your body. With a 12, I don't believe that hits Direwolf AC.
14.
But will then attempt to eat you with its beak and fail to do so. The final creature comes swooping in, whoosh, and it will land here, where it has a choice of people to fight, and it chooses the big direwolf. It looks like you are the one it wants, and it is going to use its pack tactics to try to bring you down. It unfurls its talons, reaching out with a 14.
Yes.
All right. It will strike you for 7 points of slashing damage against your direwolf form, before then returning with its beak and maybe rolling roll 20.
Maybe.
No, unable to rip into you. Drob, you see 2 of these black winged beasts racing up, talons outstretched, ready to get you. What do?
So at the moment, I believe Drob has a shield and a sword ready. I don't believe he carries a massive axe in his hands at all times.
All right.
So he is going to rage, as this seems appropriate.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and he's going to recklessly attack the wounded one with his great longsword.
Absolutely. Please do. You strike out recklessly, swinging your longsword in a big arc, flashing in the sunlight for 6 points of damage.
Sorry,
which,
8.
Oh, for 8, because you're raging, which is just enough. You strike into the creature. It looks like your sword is going to just, like, stop short of cleaning its head straight off. But then, in a moment of rage, your muscles bulge out, and you chop through that last bit of bone. It falls out of the sky, dead.
Yep. Perfect. And I will move here to hopefully tank more damage away from...
Absolutely. Murdoch, it is your turn. What will you do?
And I think that Murdoch is going to bonus action disengage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move to a not yet determined location. In 5, 10, 15. I think I'm going to move... Try not to move through other people's squares. So I'm going to move 5, 10... Sorry. Let me try that one more time. Because Roll20 wouldn't let me click and get an icon. I think I'm going to move 15 feet to here, which I'm hiding a little bit behind the dead vulture. And then I'm going to take a shot at this vulture right up here above Drob.
Absolutely. You duck behind the massive body of this turkey, and you take a shot with your bow.
12. Is that enough?
12. That is enough. Please roll me some damage.
That's 16 damage to this one.
16 damage. You strike it deep under its wing. Blood comes dripping hot and heavy upon the grasses below it as it is clearly wounded and kind of begins to almost land. It has to like work hard to keep itself aloft.
Then I will use 10 of my remaining 15 movement to slide back into this location here. And that will be my turn.
All right. Creature! You are being attacked on all sides by 2 of these things as they rip and tear at your wolfy form. What do you do?
I am not being attacked by nearly enough sides, Greg. I want to be attacked for an opportunity by the guy on my right.
Absolutely. It will reach out at you with its talons, trying to rend away your flesh as you step away. It has pack tactics as you do so it will roll at advantage with a 12. I don't think that hits you.
No.
All right.
It is not, but I also have pack tactics. And I'm going to bite the wounded one's neck off. A tried and true tactic after several times of fighting these freaking birds.
All right. You chomp down with a 16, dealing 10 points of damage to the wounded creature, which is enough to fell it. Your mighty jaws come snapping in right on its neck as it dies, like thrashing about in your jaws and finally ceasing upon the ground.
Nice. And still, I'm not being attacked enough, so I'm going to go back to being flanked.
Well, you don't leave the threatened area of that bird, so you're fine.
Yeah.
All right. Nefahito, you see your companions felling large birds on all sides. What do you do?
I see what my fellow Moon Druid has done. I'm like, cool. You know what? I'll do the same because my Bruce Flames doesn't seem to be doing any good. And I change into Direwolf. So I go all Direwolfy.
All right.
Do you go into creature Direwolf or regular Direwolf? Because I'm this weird hag, gross Direwolf spawn.
Whoop, 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 whoop. There you go. You transform into the shape of a mighty direwolf. Prepare to launch your assaults.
Okay. So I will try biting.
All right, absolutely. You can see the direwolf token in the Howling Fields underneath the monsters and the just above the character sheets. You should have access to it as a player.
Okay, let's see here. Aha.
We need more direwolves.
How do I roll?
If you click on it, it'll bring up the character sheet as if it were just a character sheet. And then if you move over from bio and info to character sheet, you can just click on the word bite from the actions menu and it'll just roll it. Otherwise, you could just roll at +5, I guess. Aha!
There
A
it is.
17 will hit.
Awesome.
For 15 points of
damage.
piercing damage. Are you striking the one that is to your south, or the one that is between you and creature?
It's the one between me and creature.
Absolutely. You chomp upon this thing. Blood drips down upon the grasses below. You've done 15 points of damage to it, and it is feeling not very good about life. It will automatically...
have advantage.
No, it won't,
do I-
actually. These are different creatures. It will make a strength saving throw. It rolls
have
a
advantage.
15, succeeding and not being knocked prone, despite the ferocity of your wolfy bite.
Also say, does pack tactics come into this?
Absolutely. Do you want to fish for a crit?
Sure. That's why not. Let's see here.
You do
There you
crit.
go.
Go ahead and roll me 2d6 more damage. Okay, so we're just gonna take the 2d6 roll. So that's another 10 points of damage.
Okay,
6
perfect.
and 4. Excellent. You bite down hard into this thing. It flutters down. It feels like you actually... Never mind. I did my math wrong. You actually kill it. It takes a minute.
Oh.
It's like when you shoot a bird and like it runs around on the ground for a little bit before it decides it's actually dead, and then it just flops down and is still fighting you no longer. It is time for the birds to go, and these birds are looking like they are at a little bit of a disadvantage. This bird here looks at you, Drob, and it unfurls its talons, and you expect them to rip and tread at you, but instead they grasp and clasp and attempt to pick you up and chuck you, or grab you. At the very least, they're trying to get you. Please make for me a athletics strength or acrobatics dexterity check. Your DC will be 18.
I do believe I should have advantage on this.
You are raging.
Indeed I am.
Nice.
There we go.
Oh, the talons
Gross.
grasp around you. It seems for a moment that you are going to be ensnared by them, but in your rage, you grasp either end of them and shove the beast back, disallowing it to grab you. With that, the creature begins to fly 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet away. Would you like to make an attack of opportunity?
Oh, absolutely I would.
Excellent. The 9 will miss as you swing. You just cannot quite get back in like your natural swinging mode with your axe or your longsword, and it just like harmlessly carves a like tail feather off as it flies away. This creature here is going to... Can't really pick up Nefahito anymore. This one here is going to fly down here, and it will do the same. Talons outstretched, it attempts to grasp at you, Murdoch, in its mighty hands. Your DC will be 5. Please make me a athletic strength or dexterity acrobatics check. Excellent. Shadow, you nimbly
Okay.
duck and dip and dive and dodge out of the way as the creature grasps nothing but air, and then it fly 10 feet, then it'll go 5 more for 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 flying this direction. Mr. Creature, would you like to make an attack of opportunity?
Arc.
Your
Arc,
13 will hit. Please give me some damage. 10 points of damage against the creature. It will make a strength saving throw. Which it successfully does not pinned by the ferocity of your attack and continues to fly away. This creature here is going to do much the same. It will fly here, talons unfurl, and attempt to grab at the raging barbarian. It wants to take its meal with it. It will make an attempt to grab you. Please make me a strength athletics or acrobatics dexterity check, a DC 9. You easily bat this creature away with your weapon, not allowing it near you as it grabs, and it will continue its flight away. No, I already threw 5, so 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 feet over here. Temer, would you like to make an attack of opportunity?
That I would.
Excellent. You hit it. Please give me some damage. Nice. All right. It will deal 6 points of damage to this vulture. And it will succeed its strength check, not knocked prone, as it attempts to fly away. Drob, you have been assaulted, tried to be absconded with by these creatures, and now you see them flying away from you. What do you do?
How high are they from the floor? Are they like...
They haven't really gotten much in the way of ascent. They flew down to your level to grab at you, and now they're just skimming across the tops of the grass, flying as far away as they can.
Yeah, you know what? This one took quite a lot of damage. This one still looks healthy. So I'm gonna drop my sword on the floor. I'm gonna pull out a net that's strapped around my shoulders. I'm gonna run towards this guy. Yeah, and I'm gonna try and like...
All right,
restrain him with
a roll to hit with that net.
I am once again recklessly attacking.
Absolutely. You throw that net as recklessly as you can. With an 18, your net comes crashing down around the creature. Whoosh, you see it like fall out of the sky, completely ensnared by your net. As it falls, it will take some amount of damage. Excellent. Murdoch. It is your turn. You see the barbarian cast his net upon the sconding creature while another flies away. What do you do?
The one to the south, down here. Is it uninjured?
It is indeed.
Okay, then I'm going to shoot at that one. I trust that the wolves will take care of the rest.
All right. 19 will hit.
That one will not be a sneak attack because I don't have an ally within 5 feet, so it is going to be... still 14 damage, though.
All right. You deal 14 damage to the creature. You see that you have bloodied it, but it continues to fly. But a moment it, like, stutters in the air before flapping its wings again and moving on.
And then I think I'll reposition.
All right.
Over to here. And I'm good.
Excellent. Creature, it is your turn.
Arg.
You bark, race forward after the flying bird.
Nope.
Biting at it ineffectually. Nefahito, what do you do?
I'd try the same. Same creature.
Nice.
Good choice.
Give that one a bite.
That 16 will hit. For 14 damage, your bite is perfectly placed. You grab like right in the soft underbelly of the creature as it tries to bank away from the creature, and you slay it. Your teeth sink deep all the way into its like innards as it falls from the sky dead at your feet.
Awesome.
With that, it is Bird's turn. This one is in a net. It is going to try to escape your net. It will use its attack. No, it will use its strength to try to bust out. It rolls a 10. That is not enough to escape the net. It struggles and tries to burst free, but it cannot. It is restrained. This one here is going to fly as far as it can away, going the full 80 feet. That it can go. Murdoch, you're essentially going to have one round to fell it before it flies off into the sky, never to be seen from again. Drob.
Sorry, this creature did escape my net. As that DC is 10 on the net.
Oh, is it DC 10? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then this creature escapes? I thought it was DC 12. And it will fly away. Huzzah! 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Here, one more square. There we go.
Take him out.
You dropped your weapon to take out the net, so I don't think that you have a melee weapon ready to make an attack of opportunity, correct?
No.
Okay.
Correct.
But it is now your turn as you see it bust away from you, screeching out, "Huzzah!" What do you do?
You know what? I'll pull out another net. Feet away from this guy, and I'm gonna yeet another net at disadvantage, but because I'm recklessly attacking, it's a normal attack.
All right, absolutely. You yeet out another
Nice.
net, and you secure it firmly in your net. Oh my goodness. It falls out of the sky once more, captured by your amazing hunting prowess.
Boys, knock it out! I want a pet!
Murdoch, it is your turn. What do you do?
I will take a shot at the one at the south.
All right, please give me that roll to hit. That
21
21 will hit.
For 7 damage. Is that enough?
7 damage, unfortunately. Well, hold on. What was your first hit on it? I forgot.
It's 14 on the first
14,
one and 7 on that.
Perfect. Thank you for reminding me. I saved me looking at my notes. It does not die. It has 22 health. You fail by 1.
close.
Creature, it is your turn. What will you do?
We win. I turn back into creature and go back to my wagon to calm my draft horse.
All right, excellent. Nefahito.
Declare victory!
I go take a bite.
Excellent.
A little closer, I suppose. And
5, 10,
No.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Yeah,
He's
you're good.
netted.
You
So should
attempt
that
to
be
attack
restrained?
it with your bite, but you do get advantage as it is restrained by the net.
ooh, give it another shot then.
You
Oh, wow.
critically hit the
God.
creature inside the net with
Yeah.
your bite.
All right, we'll see. We'll see the number, but
18 points of damage. That is enough. It slays the netted creature. The last remaining giant vulture flies away into the sky, no longer a target, and the rest of the combat ends. You have successfully defeated these vultures / ravens.
Nice.
God damn it, Nefahito, I wanted a pet. As I collect my net, all soaked in blood.
Absolutely.
Greg, 2 of my arrows are now flying away to the south in the middle of that vulture, but I have 2 more sitting in the other ones. I'd like to try to recover them.
Absolutely. You may recover one of the 2 arrows as the other is beyond repair.
Nice.
And then because we're here and because I'm hurting, I'm going to second wind.
All right, absolutely. You spend a moment to recover with your second wind.
I do not deal piercing damage to myself, but I will recover.
And then we short rest.
Okay. After that, you spend 10 minutes drinking some water from your skins, eating what little rations you might have found along the way, and generally recovering. You may regain any spells and class features associated with a short rest per the player's handbook, and you may spend any number of hit dice up to 1/2 of your total pool to regain HP.
Is anyone else injured?
Nope.
No.
Nope. All right. Well, I'm back to full, so I'm ready to go.
In case
All right.
Nefahito did not know, our wild shapes do come back on short rest. Since we're moon druids.
All right. So, you have battled these ravens in the middle of the day. Do you continue on the rest of your path?
Yeah, totally.
All right.
We do right after. Are there anything from these ravens that we might be able to procure? Do they have overly large feathers?
They sure do. They're very big birds. They have very big feathers.
Okay. I would like to try to gather some vulture feathers.
Absolutely. You set about attempting to harvest vulture feathers from the fallen foes. Go ahead and give me a survival dexterity check as you attempt to pluck them.
Let's see here. I think that is 4 plus. I am proficient in survival, so that's going to be. I think that's going to be d20 plus 6.
Sounds like it to me.
If you ask for assistance, I can assist you as well.
I'm good.
Well, you succeed very well. These things will have a yield of 2d10 feathers per fallen creature. There are 5 pluckable creatures here, so go ahead and give me 10d10 for a number of feathers that you may harvest.
69.
Nice. All right. You have recovered a nice number of feathers and are ready to move on.
Yes.
All right, excellent. You push on for the rest of the day. Despite your early encounter with the birds, the rest of your day, or I guess it's kind of a late encounter actually, it's past noon. The rest of your day flies by. Hardly anything encounters you along the way, and it is filled with just kind of the songs of birds as you make your way through this part of the Howling Fields, as there are many of them in the skies above you, although they are not the darkened horrors that you fought earlier, more the smaller ones you're used to. Nice normal birds.
Nice ones.
Eventually, the sun sets as you are unable to exit the Howling Fields on your second day, and it is time to set up your camp once more. As I roll to see if there's an encounter in the night, tell me, what is camp like here on its second day for the 4 of you?
High morale? Question mark, guys? You feeling good?
Yeah, I assume so.
Yep.
Only one of us got hit in like 2 encounters. One of them was like some chaotic abyssal demon creature. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I will
we're feeling
use
pretty
my-
good, you know.
I'll use my dagger to summon a crocodile so that Drob has a pet for the night, or at least for the next hour.
Aw.
Nice.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Out of curiosity, is the shield? Am I feeling anything with the shield?
Yes, the shield is in fact magical. You spend some time trying to attune with it, holding it close, caressing it, whispering sweet nothings in the shield's ear. And eventually, you will find that this gem shield grants you protection against certain spells. While you hold this shield in dim light or darkness, you are granted advantage against saving throws against spells.
Pretty good.
Does that carry over to your wild form?
Probably not.
No,
It
you
seems
must
like-
be wielding the shield.
Interesting learn of this, and I kind of thinking, well, as much I would love to use it, I'll probably wild shaping a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be better for just this time before we roll for it to hand it over to Drob. You need to attune to it, by the way.
Thank you. Are you sure about this? You did kill that creature.
yes. I did mightily kill that creature. And you know what? I think it was Murdoch did most of the work anyways. He saved me wearing one a few times. He just doesn't mention it too many times. But yeah, he's kind of a big deal. Anyways, frisbee it over to Drop. Hopefully he'll
I'll try to Captain America catch it and probably get hit on my face.
Oh no, less nice.
Yeah. I probably have a chipped tooth, but on my shield on my hand now. Thank you.
Well, the encounter roll was very poor, and you did not get one tonight, unfortunately. So, the rest of the night will pass. Creature, are you spending spell slots on Create Water and Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Yeah.
Then we will
Let's
skip
just-
past foraging in the next day. At the end of the night's rest in the woods, or I guess in this place, the fields, you may regain any spells, slots, and class features associated with a long rest. And you may also spend any hit dice remaining in your pool and then regain 1/2 of your pool rounded up for use in the next day. Creature, it is morning on your third day of travel. Are you still acting as navigator?
I sure am. But before that, do we want to take a quick break?
Absolutely. We have reached 2 hours of playtime. This is a perfect place for a quick break. Why don't we take about 5 or 10 minutes, refill our water, and do all that good foraging ourselves, and we will come back with more Land Beyond the Mist in a bit. Hopefully, we will see you soon.
Perfect. Bye.
Live. And we are back. Hello, Internet. Welcome back to Land Beyond the Mist. We were just about to head off in the morning after the players had slept the last night in the Howling Fields after an encounter with vultures. So, Creature, are you navigating for the party this morning?
I sure am, Mr.
Excellent.
DM.
So what I will need from you is a intended or route for you to travel today, as well as the pace that you will be going.
I think... Is normal still disadvantage? No, normal's not
Normal is not disadvantage for navigating. It does apply disadvantage to foraging rolls.
Then we're going fast. We're going fast in the northwest. We got places to be, guys.
All right. You will be going at a fast pace northwesterly. The navigation DC in the Howling Fields is 10. You succeed with flying colors, racing past the fields as fast as you can make your donkeys march, pushing on into the kind of late morning to maybe about noontime. You just see the kind of same howling fields, but they're beginning to thin out as the grasses grow lower and the kind of wildlife becomes more and more sparse until eventually, just about noonday, you find yourselves in a dry and arid and just kind of low-cut grasses, and you find yourselves out of the Howling Fields and into the Rust Steppe. As you push your way further northwest, you begin kind of looking around for what you may find. It is Nefahito. Into the afternoon, after a few hours of traversing the Rust Steppe, after finding yourself in here for the first time, you eventually see a kind of opening in a rocky formation. There's not very many hills or cliffs or whatnot in the Rust Steppe. It is a very flat area, but here there's a small rise, a kind of rocky outcropping, almost boulder-like, if you will. And from your angle as you're marching, Nefahito, you see a decent-sized opening, dark and black, stretching into the rock itself, a small cave, if you will. And nearby it is a creature, malformed.
Greg,
Yes.
I think the stream is frozen.
The stream is frozen?
It is.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
why
not
is that?
It's lagging real bad. It's not frozen, just really lagging.
Uh-oh.
That is interesting. Yeah,
Audio is
I don't
fine.
know why that is.
You want to check your router, or?
My router's fine. My internet's working. It says
Yeah.
to me that... My
Oh man, look at
Discord's
that pose
working.
John is in. That's
Oh, there
fantastic.
we go.
Are we good?
Aw.
Oh yeah, everyone's moving.
Okay, good. My internet has nothing wrong with it.
Must
Okay.
have been Twitch. It happened.
Gremlings, no worries.
Yeah, there must have been. You know what? It's the Nom Sharks. They followed me over from Koibu's Vietnam trip. Okay, excellent. So,
You were describing a creature.
Yes. As you gaze upon this opening, you find a malformed creature. It appears to be a almost armadillo-like creature. It is four-legged. It has big plates on its back. It's strange in the fact that half of this creature seems to be large size or greater. It has huge front paws and an enormous snout, a big head plate upon it, but as it gets to the back, it twists and malforms. It seems like it is smaller on the backside. Its tail hardly more than a few inches. Its hind legs scrawny and small, and couldn't possibly touch the ground should it stand on its front legs. It is a strange thing, and as you look on it, it appears to be dead, or at least recently deceased, as it lays in front of this cave.
Oh wow! I make note of it. I let them know that there's this animal I've never seen before here. What is this? And I kind of go like unthinkingly just closer to it and the front of the cave, whatever it is.
Hey, what are you doing? Nefahito splits off from the group. Creature's like, hey, what's going on, bud? Showing off the big boule head shield. Does it have any resemblance to the dead monster?
In fact, it does. The head plate that you have fashioned into a shield looks oddly similar to the head plate of this like half-finished creature laying on the ground in front of you all.
We better go after him.
Yeah, let's go. We follow Nefahito.
All right, you follow. You approach this strange beast. Nefahito, as you get closer, you notice that it is not dead. It seems almost unconscious. There's a faint breathing that you can see. Its chest does rise and fall, although how this strange oddity of life persists, you're not sure.
Should we
here's
try and end its
interesting.
suffering?
Could I cast Speak with Animals? If it is an animal, not a monstrosity or something like this.
You could.
So I tell everybody, just a second, I want to see if I can talk to it. Shouldn't be for more than a few minutes.
Well,
I
he
kind of
does that.
Do my dancing, my break dancing.
Oh, your ritual casting is breakdancing. I like it. I like it.
I Macarena as he break dance.
Yeah. You just
As
start
both of
spinning
them
on
are
your
dancing.
head a lot while Murdoch does what?
As both of them are dancing or doing whatever, I'll just pray for 10 minutes and do it as well.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to find some cover, if there's any cover around. I know we're in the steps, there may not be.
You are
But
in the
if I
steps,
see
but
any-
you are near this strange kind of rock formation, almost like a boulder, almost like a mini cliff rising probably 15 or 17 feet into the air here. It's one of the only formations that you see out in the steppes. It's largely a flat place with few trees, few brushes, if any. As you kind of approach it, this would provide lots of cover from many directions, although there is this dark entrance, almost cave-like, leading its way down.
So there's a dark entrance and this creature in front of us between us and the face. I'm not going to use that for cover.
Okay.
I think I'll be good.
Okay.
While they're dancing, praying, and on the lookout for things that are going to kill us, I want to examine this diminutive pygmy bullet, which looks nothing like, assumedly looks nothing like the one that I'm now holding.
The one that you fought and claimed its headpiece for was entirely full size, and if you walk around it and look from a specific angle, and see just its fearsome 4 feet and it four the fearsome front feet and like head. It appears to look like a boulet, but from the back it appears to be something else. This twisted diminutive, like half of its back as it like kind of fades into a smaller creature from the, or perhaps is expanding into a larger one.
With my wise and bulging eyes, I wish to determine, well, this cannot, by necessity, this is not a normal ailment. Trying to fish for a medicine check, and I don't have the proper words. I don't think I need a medicine check. This shit's whack, yo! Yeah. And while they do that, I bust out the Macarenas. We're all dancing. We're
All
all
right.
having a good time.
The dancing culminates in a mighty like crescendo of Macarenas, or Macarenas and break dancing and the Gregorian chanting prayers of Drob, and eventually all three of you, I suppose, begin speaking with animals.
I don't.
This would have been a great opportunity for Murdoch to be in the back with like a triangle going like ding.
Yeah, you gotta get that performance proficiency there.
Yes. I'll work on it.
All right.
I want to see if there's anything magical that I can immediately tell upon it.
Okay, well, two of you begin speaking with animals, and you open your eyes, peering about for magic. Unfortunately, you do not reveal any magic at play.
I suppose if it's finished, I ask it, "Are you okay?"
Wait. Before you speak to it, I'll pull out my great axe, like lift it over my head, walk over the creature, and I say, "Now you can speak to it."
All right. With the axe prepared, Nefihito asks, "Are you okay, man?" And the creature is got just the faintest of breaths pulling in and out, and its eyes loll up, like rolling up to look at you, and you can hear as it wheezes out a long, slow breath. It goes, "Thirsty, so thirsty."
Oh, so you need water. Okay. My curiosity, does creature, I say, do you have a good berry you gave us the other day? Do you have a spare one you gave for the pack animals, or are they all gone?
Why do you ask? Is it hungry?
It could use some water. It probably is hungry too. I didn't ask. Maybe, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I can water it. You want me to? Is that a thing are we being nice now? I thought you were a bloodthirsty monster.
Hey, this is a animal. This is part of our friends, our nature friends here. Like
All right, well,
you
tell
were
it I'll
animal.
give it water if it promises not to bite my fucking hand off, okay?
It'll probably promise anything, but Anyways, no, I'm sure it's good. No worries.
Get its word.
Hey guy, we can water you if you want it. Just don't hurt us, right? Like you're not one of those.
Thirsty.
You're cool. You're cool, right?
Thirsty.
Okay. I will spend a water vial to cast Create Water.
All right. Creature, you produce a small vial of water, encant upon it your magics, and from it spring forth gallons of water. They come spewing out over the, almost beak-like snout of this creature, and it begins to drink thirstily, deeply. Excuse me. Sorry. Hardly a drop is spilt upon the parched ground. This creature angles its head to just gulp down this water as fast as it can go. In front of your eyes, you see this creature beginning to grow. As you drinks deeper and deeper of the water, whatever strangeness to its back and its back legs and its spine and its tail enlarge, the plating upon it snapping into shape. You can hear the creak of bones, the strange stringy snaps of collagen as this creature's hindquarters grow and grow to match in appearance its front half. Eventually, as it drinks the last of your 30 gallons of water, it stands, a fully formed boulet in front of you, and immediately burrows deep into the ground and rushes off, leaving the four of you here, standing alone in front of an open cave in the middle of, excuse me, in the middle of, I'm dying over here, goddamn, the rust steppe.
I cast Create Water on the DM.
Thank you. Oh, I need it.
Coke, of course.
Well,
No worries.
it
No
kept
worries.
its word, I
Apologies.
guess.
Well,
Yeah, we probably wouldn't have got anything even if we did. It'd be kind of mean.
I hope he returns the favor one day, if we get in trouble somewhere.
You never know.
Exactly.
Unlikely.
this is the mesh of how the world is. You know, some are losers, some are winners, some are happy to be alive. It's no worries. Huh? What's in this cave? Huh?
Good question.
Oh
Why
yeah,
don't you,
there's a cave.
Let's go investigate. Murdoch, you love tight enclosed spaces where bow range can't really be used against.
Murdoch will move up to the edge of this cave. How big is the entrance?
The entrance is roughly 2 spans of a person across. So fingertip to fingertip, 2 people across. And it would stand even taller than the boule if it stood on its full height atop. The entrance itself doesn't appear to be carved or made man-made. It almost just appears like dug out of the stone.
I'm going to take a look at the ground in front of the entrance. Do I see any kind of tracks or any kind of footprints? Anything that would help me determine what
Are
maybe
you
might have
trained
gone
in
in there?
Survival? I assume so.
Yes.
You take a brief moment to look for tracks, and you do, in fact, see them. So you see tracks aplenty. Would you please give me a survival wisdom check? Your base DC will be 12. Your target DC will be 17. All right.
14. Split the difference.
Absolutely. You see lots of small tracks, seemingly tracks of both humanoids and small animals leading into this kind of yawning portal in the rock.
So bipedal tracks then?
There are some, yep.
I'll whisper back to the party. Seems like lots of animals and bipedal humanoid creatures have moved in and out of here. Can't tell what they are. But a lot
Do
of
we
them
go in
over time.
or do we go our way? That's
Why the
No,
hell
we
are we
go
out here if we're not looking for interesting stuff? I say we go in.
I
But
will
I say we go in
cast-
together.
Yeah, we're going in together. I'm worried about the horses, but we shouldn't be too long. Let's make this quick.
All right.
We'll tether the horse and donkey to the nearer part, like a rocky outcropping or the entrance. And I will cast.
drive a stake into the ground and tether the horse and donkey, and prepare yourselves to enter into the yawning cave. You make your way in, and eventually will find yourselves in a cave that looks something like this.
As a quick point of order, I bring the shadows around us and cast Pass Without Trace amongst us all.
Absolutely. You begin casting Pass Without Trace amongst the... Oh, are we frozen again? What is causing that, I wonder? Because everything on my end says it's going fine.
This is normally due to like bitrate bolts.
My bitrate is steady according to Twitch.
Then it is Twitch itself, probably.
Twitch says I'm steady. OBS says I'm good. I don't have a processing issue. Discord's running. My internet's running. Roll20's running.
Try putting an overlay again on and changing back to the screen.
Oh,
Here we go.
there we go.
That's weird.
Huh.
Okay, it's working now.
Are we working? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's a nice little quick fix.
There we go. All right.
Oh.
That's what I'll just try to do. I just have to
Okay.
keep a lookout for frozenness. All right.
So what
You
happened?
find yourselves in a cave that looks something like this. As you enter in from the like left here, the west of this entrance, you peer in and you see a strange sight. It is wider than you think, and it has mushrooms and like rocks falling and just kind of normal looking cave things. But there is a dampness to the kind of ground and small puddles that form near and around the rocks and the growing mushrooms. A strange kind of liquid fills it that is neither clear nor opaque, and it just gives you an odd feeling to look at. Deeper in the cave, where the puddles are more distinct, you see odd-looking growths, mineral growths, glowing a blue light, casting a dim light across the entirety of the cavern, as well as strange plants sprouting forth from like openings in the rock in and around these strange pools of liquid. And you can also see the occasional skeleton of what could be humanoids or some kind of bipedal, maybe ape-like Denzian that have been lost here among the strange cave ruins that you come across.
I say, wow, all this water, and it didn't drink any of it. Oh, well, more for us, guys. Let's go
Don't-
drink.
Don't touch the water.
But, you
Oh,
know,
it should be fine. Skulking around like the murderers we are. I want to investigate each and every single plant I see. That seems unique and fascinating to my.
Nefahito, I bet those plants get you high as a kite.
oh, you're right.
As you
And
begin investigating these plants, you see two things. One, there are two kinds of each of these plants. In areas where this kind of damp liquid is absent, you can find normal kind of lichen, almost moss-like growths that you might expect in a cave, as well as some small, like, kind of mushrooms that will find their way across certain rocks. Maybe finding a peculiar, like, just a normal amount of water, a small amount of dampness. In and around these strange pools that you observe, these same things are bigger. Much bigger. These mushrooms are quintuple or more in size, big and full with strange growths coming out of them. The lichen itself is almost leafy and green and verdant, almost like it's become a fern of some kind, although as you study it you realize that yes, this is in fact the same kind of lichenous, mossy growth that I can see in other parts of the cave. The minerals themselves are, I guess you didn't say you investigated the minerals, but they are big and blue and bursting forth. They remind you a little bit of like when you would take a stone from your hag mother's pond and break it open and look at the insides with her to cast the future or maybe perhaps imbue a curse on some poor resident.
Creature, would you like to feed some of this water to your horses? See what happens.
Rather feed it to you first.
All right. I'm down.
Well, go
out
for
of
it.
curiosity,
I'm
Greg,
not stopping you.
do these moss remind me of the moss me and Murdoch seen at the sunken fort?
The
moss,
the
like
fungus, right?
Yeah.
The poisonous fungus? No. This would be different. Yeah.
What about the healing? Didn't we find healing plants, Nefahito, on the way?
I did the herbalism check, and I found some. I found some plants that would create smoke when burned to get rid of flies. I also did find some healing plants, but that's when the witch came after us and we took her kidneys. So when she wanted our kidneys, and then we took her.
An honorable thing to do. You live by the
Yes.
kidneys, you die by them too.
Exactly.
If there's more cave, I think we should explore it, then come back and mess with minerals and plants and prepare to make potions. We're gonna make a meth lab here, boys.
All right. You press on,
Looks like the crystal's ready.
leaving this area behind you, turning the corner around this kind of bend in the cave. Excellent. You do so and leave this part behind. You travel down a kind of long path, long and straight, probably for a few hundred feet. You get this kind of same intermittent growths of kind of extra large moss and minerals in places as you travel down it. It's a kind of translucent journey, and as it touches kind of this strange liquid, eventually it ends in a kind of dark cave where the translucence of the light stop and you no longer see these strange puddles. But there's a flickering of light up ahead. And as you press forward towards this flickering light, you come across a new bend in the cave. One that looks something more like this.
Giant snake.
Coming from the south, the cave is lit by kind of a flickering darkness, and as it rounds a bend, the four of you see what appears to be an enormous vertebrate, rib cage and all, pale white bones just wrapped around part of the turn in the cave.
Do we see the creature standing there?
No, not from where you walk in.
We do see the light.
You are
ahead.
over here in this area, traveling through. You would see the bones arching over this turn in the cave.
Well, we are here to investigate. Shall we proceed?
Yeah.
Yes. At this point, can we see light up ahead in this tunnel, you said?
Yes, light is flickering around the bend. More natural, a warm glow, as if kind of reminiscent of a campfire. Not
think at
the
this
pale
point-
blue that you saw before.
At this point, I strap a shield, ready my weapon, and I step forward. Slowly.
All right. You begin walking forward, making your way through this dungeon. You see, as it banks back to the left, this enormous bone structure. This long, snaking vertebra continues on, wrapping around further and further, until eventually you step forward towards the last bank, and you peer upon the final site of this dungeon. Here, the bones of this enormous, now that you can see, snake-like creature wrap around the final portion of the cave. And here you see what appear to be makeshift tents, old boxes, and a couple of lit campfires. There seems to be a strange figure at one of them, clad in basic cloth and carrying what appears to be a sack or some kind of bag tied to his back. He sits over the flames, stoking them, poking them with a little stick. At the center of the final room, underneath the enormous skull of a creature, you can see a pool This one green and shimmering, and you can see that it is filled by the drips and drops of some kind of liquid running off the top of this open snake mouth. Through the mouth of the snake, you can see that it is open, and there leads a passage back through the yawning mouth. As you approach, the person at the campfire kind of lifts their head and just observes the four of you for a moment, and then smiles before frowning and furrows his brow, and he looks at you.
Hey, sup?
You're not clerics, are you?
Not a damn... No! Never! How dare you?
Good! Good! Come! Sit at my fire. It will be good to have company.
What
I
is
will
this
lower my
creature?
weapons and go there.
I stop you, grabbing the back strap of your shirt or whatever.
You grab
Hey,
the nuts
yo!
strapped around my shoulders.
What are you?
What am I? I
Yeah.
guess you could call me a squire. Not
squire?
official yet, but you know, working towards it.
How old is this guy? How manic
He
does he
looks
look?
to be maybe in his late teens or perhaps early 20s.
Okay.
Does he look human?
He does, though he's larger than the humans that you see. He stands. If he were to stand, you would guess that it would probably be about 7 feet tall. He's got broader shoulders and broader, like, just features than you expect. He seems to be unlike any of the people that you've seen south of the mountains.
Why do you
Are
need a
you
cleric?
human, my friend?
I'm sorry. One at a time now.
He's obviously human. Don't ask redundant questions. He may try to stab us in the neck. Why do you need a cleric?
I don't stab people in the neck yet. I'm not allowed the weapons.
That's what a neck stabber would say.
Creature.
Why
creature.
do you need a cleric?
No. We don't talk about those untrustworthy heathens. Dark magics they wield.
What did you say your name was?
I'm Alvin.
Alvin?
Oh yes.
Trusty Alvin.
What is this snake creature?
Good question. I asked the same one. I was told that stupid questions get stupid answers. But my guess, probably a titan.
A titan?
That'd be my guess. I don't really know. You'd have to ask the boss man.
I'll
speak
do
to
one
him?
better and ask my boss man. Ayo, Serpentoro.
You just hear a low predatory growl in the back of your head. You get the impression that if a 9-headed lizard hydra could have hackles rise, that is the sound you are getting here.
Can we speak to your boss man?
I don't know. He doesn't really like to be disturbed on the job. I don't really want to get in trouble.
What's the job?
He throws a thumb over his shoulder at the big open mouth of the snake.
What's he doing in there?
Oh, you know, slaying things like knights do.
He's killing?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the purpose of knights, you know.
Yeah, I guess. If we want to philosophize about it, you could sum it down to...
I'm not much of a philosopher. I'm a squire for a reason, you know.
I thought the purpose of knights was to protect the weak.
Oh, I mean, that's... Yeah, but how do you do that? You gotta slay some
Throwing
shit.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty...
That's how I do it.
Alvin, you guys go.
I was just agreeing. No worries.
Should I just go sit by his fire? He seems friendly.
Oh,
Yeah, you
definitely.
can.
Come, I'll make a seat for you. He like
Sure.
gets
I'll
up
step
and
closer.
rummages around a little bit in the back and pulls out a like stump essentially that appears to have atrophied. The stump that he pulls out from the kind of mess of things in the back is as hard as any stone when you sit upon it, and has none of that like kind of warmth of wood.
I'll pull out 2 rations out of my backpack, toss one to him, and I'll say, "Join me for dinner. I'm
Oh
starving."
no, I couldn't eat.
Hmm.
A
Where do
man
you
that
hail
cannot
from?
eat, I do not trust.
I'm sniffing him now. Does he give that faint putrid stench of a carcass?
No. No, you take a strong whiff, and the only thing you can smell, actually, is this green pool in the center of the room. It gives a strong, like, acid, like, citric kind of acidy smell.
I tell my teammates, don't worry, I think I got this. And I go to him. You know, friend, you know what I like to do as a human? I like to eat other humans. My eyes kind of go narrow.
He
Hmm?
looks at you with just concern. Like, uh, are
Eat a
you
mushroom.
sure you're not a cleric?
Uh, just testing ya. You know, I thought that you might be tricking us. You might be tricking
He
us. It's good
touches
to
his
hear.
nose
Good
and
to
then
hear.
goes, "Oh, you never can be too safe. All right,
I
all
go-
right."
Go to the other guys like, hey, this guy seems cool. Uh, we saw some animal outside of this cave. It needed water.
Oh,
Did you know that? Did you ever see one of these things?
one of these things? He looks at like the big snake. He's like, well, no. I mean, here.
I should say the thing that looks kind of like this, and I kind of point to the bony shield or whatever that creature has. Right? He
He
has
looks at it. I don't know. It looks pretty small. I don't think
Hmm.
so.
Okay, cool.
How many of you live here? Seems like a big place.
Oh no! This is just the camp. Like, no one lives here. We're just waiting for the boss to get done.
Where do you hail
Oh.
from? Where do you hail from, Alvin?
Oh, well, I'm from a small village that I'm sure you've never heard of. In fact, it probably gets wiped off the map 2 or 3 times a year. But the boss man, he's from the Grand City, the the hall itself of swords. In fact, he is of nobility.
Oh, that's northwest, right?
From here,
Yeah.
I don't think it would be west. Oh, we're quite far. It's been quite a trek. Maybe I north for sure. West, I don't know. Do you have
North. Okay. North.
What are you hunting?
the beast, of course.
Which beast?
You don't seem to know much, do you? So the Titans, they died, of course, and their blood and bones still haunt the land, but their beastly forms still reside within. They require killing every so often. You know, put them down for a few hundred years.
Do you know any 8-headed hydras?
Can't say that I do. Hydras. No.
Do you know a big giant dwarf guy?
A giant dwarf? I don't think I've even seen a dwarf. No. I've heard tales of the small people that mine rocks. I think they used to live here. I don't think they have in millennia.
Do you know there's other humans, right? Like, we're human too, and
Of course.
Like-
Many in the great city.
do you know whether like you look at our clothes like we're pretty? It's pretty sweet living in technology. You live out here. Why?
I'm not living here.
What?
I'm just waiting for the boss. He'll be done anytime.
How long has he been in there?
Oh, I don't know. A few hours.
Is it only the two of you?
No. There's more.
How many?
Oh, well, boss and us 4 squires. Well, I'm not a squire yet. Working my way there. Good old Alvin.
Oh.
Shall we go say hi inside the mouth?
I really don't think you should.
Why not?
Doesn't like to be disturbed. It's
It-
kind of a thing. I don't want to get yelled at. Just sit around the fire with me. It'll be fine.
I don't trust this guy,
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
Greg.
Why do you live in the mists? Tell me.
The mists? What are those?
All right, this guy.
What
This
do you think
fucking
about
guy.
other kingdoms, per se, not the kingdom here?
Other kingdoms?
Yeah, beyond the
Alright.
mountains and stuff.
The time for fun and games is over, guys. I promise I'm not a cleric. Alright, you're not gonna catch me in weirdness.
Oh.
I'm getting
Stab
such
this guy in the
scary
back.
vibes. Yeah.
You know nothing. You don't even know there was a beast in front of your cave. You know there's another You don't know there's other civilizations beyond the mist. All you know is the mist. You're giving us cryptic answers.
I'll
You
go
know,
to creature.
I don't know what's up with this
Sorry, I'll
mist
go to-
thing. What is the mist?
this is the mist, and I show the land, kind of like outside of the cave. The land outside of the cave, everything.
Try to touch him.
You guys are from a really weird town, aren't you?
Yes. Not really
Yeah,
a town.
kind of. I mean,
Okay.
Called
yeah.
it a York.
You should probably come to the Hall of Swords, get checked out.
Please, can you... How far is it? How many days
Oh, a
travel?
long fucking way, man. Oh god. Yeah, you don't want to see the blisters on my feet. Not used to that kind of walking.
How
Tell you
dare
what.
you, first of all, assume such a thing? Also, I'm going
You
to...
want to see him? It's kind of gross. He starts like
I
unwrapping his
quickly-
like foot
Yes,
coverings.
this is what I want. I want to throw my water skin towards him. Like, think fast!
All right.
And see what he... Does he catch it, or does it go through him?
You say think fast. Let's see how fast he thinks. Give me a dexterity acrobatics check.
Okay.
So a 20. All right. This guy. Let me find some stats.
Throw the water skin.
Bum, bum, bum.
We are frozen again, just so you know.
How? Why? Why are we frozen? I am. Did that work? That did not.
Let it
Not
go.
yet.
Let it
This is
go.
disappointing to me.
us.
No, see, everything's
I-
working but OBS. Like OBS is frozen, but everything
Perfect.
else works fine.
Trying really hard to hold the same pose.
It's fine. What's a little scuff between friends?
Exactly.
I don't know.
You know, I'll go towards creature and whisper in his ear. Should I just toss him in the acid?
I'm waiting for my... We're paused, bro.
No
I
murder.
know.
No murder. No murder.
This guy is giving me the creeps, man.
He is. He's just.
I just want to toss him in the acid, actually.
Jeez.
First human we find. Like the first human.
First NPC of the entire game outside of the town.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
murder him in the first 4
Oh yeah,
minutes of
like
the
inside
application.
some titan's body, man.
It's a ghost.
Murdoch has seen a ghost before.
See, the weird thing is OBS isn't frozen. The audio is working normally. My frame rate is stable. My bit rate is stable. My GPU is not being used very much. But for whatever reason, we're frozen. The Discord call is not frozen. I see you moving. I'm moving in that. It's
Definitely
just,
something related to the program OBS. Maybe it's a bug. Maybe it's a setting. Maybe there's maybe an add-on you've added. I'm not too
yeah,
sure.
well, now we're
There's
moving again. All right. I will mess around with it. If it freezes again, I don't know what we'll do. But we're back. So let's return to ghostly water bottle catching. You chuck a water bottle at this guy, and you say, think fast, and chuck it at him, and he attempts to think fast. You throw it at him, and he tries to dodge out of the way, and does so successfully. You know, he's like, think fast. He's like, whoa! And your just water bottle goes splashing away from him. He's like, what was that for? Man,
Does he
that
move?
kind of scared me
get
for a
up?
second.
Does
He
he
just kind of went
stand?
like, whoa! He like matrixed it, like,
Why won't you move? Stand up! Do some jumping jacks.
He did move. He gave me a stool. What do you mean?
But he never stood up.
all right, guys, I'm gonna take the stream down for half a second. I'm gonna just like
Impressions.
I'm gonna stop the stream and then try to start it again. I'm gonna like close OBS.
He did, yeah, but he did stand up. Greg said that he moved, got me a big stump.